Man, what's good? What's good? Today is a great day. Even though we got our ass kicked yesterday, today is a great day. My name is Hakeem. This is Blair Coates, and this is the 49er Podcast, 49er Empire Podcast, baby. And today we are in here to talk about it. We're going to break down some things. We're going to talk about some things. You know, this is we're going to call this Monday therapy sessions when we lose. You know, this is for us to get together, you know, to talk about some of the pain that we've been having when it pertains to our squad.
Yeah.
Monday therapy session it is. We're going to talk about some things overall. We're going to get into the game. But first and foremost, we're going to get into exactly what I wanted to talk about. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And one of the good things, one of the good things I will tell you, one of the good things, our receiving core, I wanted to individually break them down. Now I will tell you, Richie James has been struggling ever since he had his big game. He's not really, you know, done what he's done. KB is really looking like he's that third receiver, like he's always been. But what I would tell you is that one thing I enjoy about Richie James is that he come back with a big play, caught a big ball later. You know, he's doing what our bona fide hot garbage quarterback is letting him do. But I like Richie James. I think Richie James is somebody we definitely need to retain for next year. KB is another one I think we need to retain for next year. Even though I said I wanted to see how this year played out for KB, he's actually stepped it up for me. Those two guys, Deebo Samuels is the number one receiver for me. Brandon Ayuk is a special player, and he is being disrespected by somebody who can't get him the ball right now. And, you know, I definitely wanted to talk about this wide receiver core, and I definitely think the bad things is that KB drops the ball. He drops big balls. Then we have Deebo Samuels. He's hurt, right? He gets hurt a lot because I think the way they use him. Brandon Ayuk is small, and he needs to put on some weight because I've noticed when they press cover him, difficult for him to sometimes get off of that. And that comes with a little more bulkiness. He's still a young man. He can get some bulk on him where he can still be efficient. And then fumbling from Richie James, and he's a terrible punt returner, by the way. Our whole team is a terrible punt returner. We do not have a good punt return. Our special team sucked.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on our young receiving core, man?
I love the 49ers receiving core. If your weakest receiver right now that's actually getting playing time is Richie James Jr., then I think you're in good hands. I know River Carcraft got in. We haven't seen any of Trent Taylor, but let's just say the guys that are on the field, that's a nice package. Of course, you bring up, and I put a red circle around Kendrick Bourne. So many great flashes, right? He gets separation. I love that he catches with his hands. I love that he's not afraid to go over the middle. But for some reason, when the lights come on, Kendrick Bourne is going to drop the ball. Now, I don't know where that gets you in the future because when the game is on the line, you cannot have the drops. Now, Richie James Jr., it's just sad. You know, the game plan for him, he came in when it was just all on him. He lights it up. And then when he's back in the mesh, he's back to being just an average or a little bit below average receiver. When I look at this core, I think it's going to be dismantled. Have your two locks in Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. I just don't know for sure if we're going to see Kendrick Bourne. I know Richie James is going to be moved. I know Trent Taylor is going to be moved. And I think that's for the best. But if Richie James is your worst receiver out of the people getting playing time, that's a good crew.
It's a good crew. And I think eventually they're young. They're really young. And let them grow together, man. I think get some continuity together. Um,
Yeah.
Brandon Ayuk and Debo Samuel is going to be there a while. I hope we can sew up. If I had to pick between KB and Richie James, I'd pick KB, just because his size, and I think we need that.
Hmm.
A little end zone threat for deals. But I do think we have a very, very.
Yeah.
I think we have the best young receiving core in the NFL. If you really look at our duo between our two guys, two number ones, both of them are really, really good. They catch the ball with their hands. They catch physically. They're physical. I think Brandon Ayuk
Hmm.
is not as physical as Debo, of course, but I think he's smart. You know what I mean? He knows that he got a small frame and he needs to protect it. Debo needs himself too.
Yeah.
If he's gonna play the amount of games he needs to play for us next year. KB, I think KB just needs to work on his hands a little bit. And I like KB's energy. I
Me
like
too.
his energy to the core. I think he brings a certain level of fun that the team needs, especially when they're down late.
Yeah.
You gotta have fun. You gotta have fun on what you're doing. I really like our young receiving core, and I think we need to sew up KB. I think KB could be potentially really, really good next couple years. Get us a good quarterback in here. Um, I think
Yeah.
I think we'll be all right, and especially him. I think he'll be all right.
And you want to know what's funny? So I'm watching the game, right? And I'm on Twitter and I'm listening or reading what fans are saying, and they're talking about Judy, right? Jarrett Judy and versus Brandon Ayuk, and just the comparison. It was a perfect game to compare the receivers. Now, I want to get your interpretation on this because when I watched the game, I really feel that the 49ers have the better pick. I honestly do. That's from any bias standard at all. I'm just looking at the receiver and what they bring to the table. I know Jarrett Judy at the end of the game had that nice the kickoff return. I understand that, but if you just look at the skill set, if you look at what each player is able to do, they're both talented guys. But Brandon Ayuk, he's more of a superstar in the making. He makes all through the middle and catching the ball. He's getting hit and keeping his hands on the ball. These are skills you cannot teach. It has to be in you. He has that dog in him. I'm not saying Jared Judy doesn't have the dog in him, but I'm just thinking 49er fans, they need to be assured that Brandon Ayuk, he's the guy.
I like what you're saying there. I like Judy, but in college, I wasn't a fan. I was a fan of CeeDee Lamb when he was coming out, but Judy, I would think Ayuk. He has what makes him special to me is that his catch ratio. I mean, he has these long arms as if he's 6'5", but he's only like 6'1", so it helps him. He catches away from his body, but his wingspan is really, really long, which helps his catch radius. So you can kind of just throw it up like he's 6'5", and he's not there. He's 6'2". So I'm happy he's with us, man. I'm happy. That was a great move, great draft to come up. That's 2 years in a row that we draft great receivers. So we know that they got a knack for drafting receivers. We're probably going to dig deep and go draft another one.
Yeah.
Hopefully this next one actually can return some kicks. I understand why they put Brandon Ayuk out there for kick returns because he's explosive. And when he came from college, he did that. He also, returned kicks with, good yardage behind him in college. And then also, if you're trying to win a football game, man, you got to put your best players out there, man. I remember, the time when Deion Sanders was put out there. Hey, go out there and return a kick for us, man. Charles Woodson, go return a kick for us, man. I get it, man. He was trying to win the football game, and I respect him for that. But let's get into another subject, man. One of the subjects I wanted to talk about this is why I think Eric Armstead is a guy that I've been saying all year. He's been playing out of position. If he was playing in his position with good DNs that's healthy, Eric Armstead would look like a Pro Bowler again. I don't think people understand that playing from the edge is a technique and it's a specialty. It's not something that you can just put defensive end. And he's a 3-4. He was always a 3-4 nose or defensive end, meaning
Mhm.
he's a good gap assignment guy, but he becomes a pass rusher when he's one on one with a guard. And this is where he becomes very, very good. When he has to
Mhm.
run upfield, bend his shoulders, and do all that. I mean, it's very difficult for him, man. That's not his game. But if he can line up inside, him and Kinlaw would be damaged. If we got Bosa
Oh,
on the edge, Kinlaw, Eric Armstead, and a bona fide defensive end, maybe from college, or we pick one up in the free agencies, I think we would be really good. What do you think?
oh my goodness. You have been saying this all season
Yeah.
long. You said if we put him back in the tackle position, our defensive tackle position, he's going to be phenomenal. And we seen it. I don't know what's taking so long. Maybe personnel was hurt, but we finally got a chance to see him back in his natural position. And man, the one thing I love about Eric Armstead is he gets skinny between the lines there. And a lot of people don't understand when you're trying to get to the quarterback, you have to get skinny, right? And I think that's something that Javon Kinlaw is working on, right? He's working on getting slim when he goes through. Eric Armstead, his body, I think it's built, Buckner had the wider type body, same as Kinlaw's, the wider type body. Eric Armstead's body, it makes it difficult for the offensive lineman to keep him in front because he's able, it's not even a swim move. It's like an under hook that he's doing. He gets skinny, he gets there. We finally were able to see it. I love the penetration that we were seeing from the defensive line. It was pressure. Were there a whole bunch of sacks? No, but the quarterback looked uncomfortable. You nailed it. Imagine what this line is going to look like in 2021. Kinlaw is going to be in his second year. Armstead already he already knows what he's supposed to do. Now that we've seen it,
Mm-hmm.
the contract, everything makes sense. Nicky Bosa, I'm not expecting him to be extremely explosive on his comeback tour. We just need him on the field.
Mm-hmm.
An edge rusher of any caliber, right? Just be healthy and get have some sort of presence. This defensive line is going to give you remnants of 2019, and I cannot wait to see it.
Man, I'm excited, and you really, if you really think about it, man, like we just need to get Ronald Blair back, a healthy DJ Jones. I mean, we just got to get
Yeah.
healthy, man. It's frustrating to watch because I know our potential. Like we would have blew the Dallas Cowboys out, man, if we were healthy. Even with Jimmy G, I think we would have blew them out.
Yeah.
Um, it's unfortunate because I think that right now our mindset, because we're eliminated from the playoffs, but our mindset is the draft and finishing these games. I really think we need to start finding out like what Juan Jennings has. Juan Jennings should be in the rotation now. Why not? You cannot tell
Yeah.
me there's a reason why we can't see what this young man got. Let's see if he creates a spark. We already don't play Trent Taylor. Have him take some Richie James minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And find out what he got, man. To see what he got, man.
Yeah, for the remaining two games, I definitely don't want to see George Kittle out there. I still want to see Brandon Ayuk out there. He needs reps. He's a rookie. He needs his reps. But some of these guys, go ahead and rest up, get ready. It's going to be a crazy 2021, and I'm not going to go ahead and say this is a Super Bowl team in 2021, but you can tell the pieces are there. You said it. Even in a game where you don't have a starting quarterback, your defensive line has been blown to shreds. You're still in contention every week. Like the defense looked. The defense looked good. Just gave up some points here and there. I mean, the offense put them in terrible positions. I think we gave up 21 in turnovers. But the defense all season long has still been stout under Robert Saleh. I cannot wait. Honestly, I cannot wait. I think this team at its core has the pieces to go on another one of those magical runs.
And they didn't even have Jason Verrett yesterday. He didn't even play. So, that's
Shout out to
yeah. He
Witherspoon.
was playing, man. I seen you mention that on Twitter. I was like, man, you're right, because I had to give him some props, man. I really don't give the Spoon no props, but he played well, man. And if he could play well next couple of games, Come on, man.
Yeah.
We might have to bring him back. We
I
might have to
know.
bring him back. But
I know.
let's talk about the game, man. Give me your analysis on the game overall. What did you think about the game? Let's talk about that.
I thought the game gave me remnants of the game against the Washington football team. Your offense, once again, turning the ball over. I think the Richie James fumble on the return, it was devastating, completely devastating. We knew that Nick Mullins was good for at least 1.5 turnovers. I didn't think he was actually going to get to his 2. So he has the fumble, he has the interception. That really puts your defense in a tough position. I thought Fred Warner did his best and held the defense to the gold standard. But once again, we just have offensive issues. We have terrible quarterback play. I hate to continue to pile it on with Nick Mullins, but he is regressing, and I don't even know how you can regress when you've already been playing so bad. He's already been playing terrible, and he's regressing. There's a lot of bright lights. Obviously, when you look at, and I mentioned this earlier, when you look at Brandon Ayuk, there is stardom right before our eyes, competing. I don't care what no one says. I know he knows that the draft order with the receivers, and he knew that Judy was over there. And I know both those guys wanted to put on a show. I love what Brandon Ayuk did. I love how the defense tried their best, but offense, once again, you give up all those points on turnovers. I mean, what are you going to do? I looked a little bit at Kyle Shanahan with some of the play calling. I thought there was just a lot of stuff left on the field. I thought you could have kept it a little more simple, but someone mentioned this. Why keep it simple when you know that, and this is all conspiracy, when you know that you have Nick Mullins, you know what his capabilities are. You definitely see his limitations. I just think we could have called some simpler plays to get him into a rhythm. But other than that, this game turned out exactly as we predicted it would. It's unfortunate, but hey, that draft order went up. And I think that's important for where we're at. Be a realist. That's where the 49ers are at.
So we're like one game, but we're like one game behind, like 5th seed. So let's just say those other teams win, we'll go 5th seed. I think I sent it to you this morning. Let me check it out right now.
Yeah,
here it goes. Jacksonville, New York Jets, Cincinnati, Carolina, Atlanta, Miami, Philadelphia, Cowboys, Chargers, Detroit, San Francisco, Denver, and so we're number 11th. But like, if you look at, so if the Miami Dolphins, if they win, actually, no, Miami's winning right now. They took Houston's pick. My bad. So they're winning, but they got Houston's first round pick. Wow,
that's crazy.
It's crazy, isn't it? So if Houston wins, Philadelphia wins, the Cowboys. If we stay the same with the Cowboys, we own the tiebreaker. So we would go down to 6th seed.
Man,
and we got 2 tough games left.
Oh yeah.
And so what I'm saying to you is, Cowboys win. We're rooting for the Cowboys to win. If the Cowboys win one game, and the Houston Texans win one game, we will be in that 6th spot quickly. That is Zach Wilson all the way. That is a primetime quarterback right away. And I'm almost thinking that's why we leaving Nick Mullins in the game, man.
Yeah,
I'm thinking there was opportunity for us to yank him. He didn't yank him. He decided not to yank him. But let's just keep it all the way real, man. He had an opportunity to put in C.J. Beathard, and I don't think he's going to be no better, but I think he would have not thrown picks.
He would have been a spark, and I think Kyle Shanahan is trying to avoid the spark. He wants this to play out exactly like it's playing out.
I think Nick Mullins to be Nick Mullins. He let Nick Mullins be Nick Mullins, man. Turnover king. He is a turnover king.
Yeah, and not to mention, man, I'm telling you, you and I speak about this off air all the time. Someone needs to watch Jordan Reed every time Nick Mullins throws the ball. I'm telling you.
He is hot. This cat made fire on Nick Mullins, man. Hey, he's like, man, you messing up my paper out here, bruh.
Yeah.
Man,
Do you think Jordan
I'm
Reed's coming
hoping.
back?
I think he will. I think because of Kyle Shanahan's offense.
Yeah,
Um, I think because of
I
Kyle
hope so.
Shanahan's offense. I think because of his familiarity with the system.
Yeah,
And we play him sparingly, and they got a number one tight end and Kittle. He wanted to play as much, but he can still be a factor.
yeah.
Um, I think he'll be back. I hope he comes back. I like Jordan Reed. What about you?
Man, I think Jordan Reed is he's a specimen. And it's unfortunate about the concussions because he has Hall of Fame caliber written all over him. You can tell that linebackers cannot guard him, right? Defensive backs, they're too small to tackle him. His route running is phenomenal. His hands are extraordinary. Like he's catching everything. I think against the Jets, I seen it. It was like it skimmed the ground. It was going to skim the ground. He picks it up with the fingertips. I mean, this guy can ball. And with the healthy 49ers offense, juggernaut. I mean, George Kittle, I don't even know if you have them both at the same time, but George Kittle wear you down. Jordan Reed come in and finesse you. It's a combo that I think continues the onslaught of the 49ers offense. And if you could find a way to manage all this with juice check, if you can manage all of it and bring the Swiss Army knife back,
Mm-hmm.
numbers.
Numbers.
And before I finish that, let me just say, Mitch Wiskowski with that hit in the third quarter,
Our
we
punter
got a
came and
punter.
laid the wood.
We got a punter.
But he used to play
Man, we got a
rugby though.
punter.
He used to play rugby, so he's not afraid.
Got
Yeah,
it. Yeah, that dude,
he's not
man,
afraid.
he,
So
he's flipping field positions and he's taking players out. I love it.
he's good, man. So overall, man, for me, I give us a team grade of a D, and the reason why is because we lost offensively. The defense gave up too many points, and then our special teams it just wasn't looking
Oh,
good, man. And the reason
yeah.
why I didn't give us an F, this is the reason why I didn't give us an F because there was some times in the game that we did fight that you thought, okay, we may win,
Yeah.
but
I thought that a few times.
few times, man. I thought that we was gonna have a comeback, but then Nick Mullins throws a pick, and you said, you know what? This is his style. This is his game. You know, what I mean, he doesn't even look at his safeties. Just throwing them the ball. Just throw it up.
Mm-hmm. Staring at him. He's just staring.
Hey, man, we got a huge show on Wednesday. Just wanted to shout it out real quick. We got a huge show on Wednesday. We got a guy coming on to talk about draft and NFL draft. I know we got a couple games left, but we're definitely going to continue to give you guys content, continue to talk about the Niners, continue to talk about the offseason, how we're going to get better, what we need to do to get better. That's exactly what we're here for. And, you know, we're two of the biggest fans 49ers have. We definitely want to work on. We definitely want to work on. I think we definitely want to work on really looking at our free agents next year because there's so many. Probably
Yeah.
breaking those down, seeing who we want, who should we let go. There'll be some tough decisions in there, I'll tell you though. And I think that Richard Sherman is going to be a tough one, a tough decision. I think Juice is going to be a tough decision.
Oh, that's tough.
There's gonna be some names that we're just planning on having a future with that we may not because of the situation.
I know. One thing they better do is sign Trent Williams. I mean, if you can't
Oh,
get
you gotta
Jason
sign.
Verrett, that's okay. You have to sign Trent Williams. I mean, you
He's
just
in a,
have
he's,
to.
he's in a, he's in a Pro Bowl voting. He was like he's number one starting left tackle right now.
Yeah, that's something that has to be solidified. And I think you need a corner. Um, you got to find some money for Jason Verrett. I think there's some love there, right? Just
Yeah,
based off the chance that was given. You got to
yeah,
make that work.
you got to make that work, man. It's a couple guys you got to make work. I think
Yeah.
I think I make KB work.
Yep.
I think you need to draft another right tackle because Mike McGlinchey's hot garbage. Um, I think there's several positions. Brunskill, I think them guys got to go. Guys has been injured. D4, we got to find a way to buy him out of his contract or something. A lot of these guys,
Hmm.
man, it's just hurting us because your salary's so high and you're not producing. And we need guys. We need guys. We need what Bill Parcells the best guys are the guys who are available.
Man, that's the realest comment ever.
Yeah, man. Like
And
we need that. We need that type of availability on our football team right now.
speaking of availability, did you see Kwan Williams? You see how different we look when he's out
Man,
there?
man, we got to sign
Like
him
I
too.
just
He's a free agent too.
that's some more money that has to go his way. And I think you brought this up. It's hard to find a nickel corner that is good.
He's
And
very athletic. He's very good in the
so
slot,
good.
man. He's probably the best in the
Yeah.
NFL. And that's another
Yeah.
thing.
I want some money thrown his way.
Somebody's gonna pay him high dollar, man. That's just because he's that good. Um,
Yeah.
it's sad because I think he would love to play with us again, but he can. I mean, he's gonna make. He got to go get this money.
Yeah, and he's worth it. He's worth every penny. I've seen his career grow. Didn't we get him from the Bengals?
I'm not for sure with it. I'm not even for sure, man. I wasn't really keeping track of Keywan, but I like
Yeah,
him. Let's just say
me too.
I like him.
And ever since he's been here, he's just grown, man. He's grown into the position, and he's phenomenal in the slot. And I just think
Mhm.
he deserves so much more credit because you see how different we look with him out there. And so there's some pieces that you just need to solidify. Not all the pieces need to be your glamour picks, right? Not all of these players are your home run hitters, but there's some personnel in there that you're going to need to lock down if you want another run. And
And and I
their corners in that line.
and I know this is going to sound impossible, but I really think Kyle Shanahan needs to speak to Robert Saleh and see if we can retain him for one more. I think we got a good run in us when we get a quarterback, but I know the opportunity is going to be too big for him to pass up, especially for his home state out there in Detroit. And but I think transitioning to a new defensive coordinator is going to be a problem, and we got
It's
to
gonna be
make
tough.
sure because we got a lot of good guys on the defensive side of the ball that are ready to play, but we have to keep the same system. We can't have somebody come in changing the system, doing things that's going to disrupt our chemistry. Because we're
Yeah.
a couple injuries away from being in deep in the playoff run right now. So yeah, we got a lot of things to do in the off season, and I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm so excited for this off season. I love football. I love this 49er team, man, and I'm going to be doing everything I can to research this thing.
Oh yeah, me too. I'm looking at players all day long who can fit and realistic fits, right? I mean, you have a bunch of guys that are going to go early, and so that's why it's so interesting to watch how this draft order plays out. Because as you said, I think sitting at 11 and 12, you're talking Trey Lance, and Jones, Task, Trask. There's a few others out there that are going to go late, but if you can climb and now it's realistic to get Zach
Mm-hmm.
Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. You know what type of offense this is going to look like? Even if the kid isn't phenomenal in his rookie year, just his mobility, his arm strength, his accuracy is going to be an immediate upgrade to what we have right now.
Yeah, man. I'm excited. Like I said, the whole draft, free agency in the whole draft, man.
Yeah.
We gotta retain some guys right now.
Yeah.
Right now, I
Hopefully
think.
they get an offensive lineman.
Oh man, we gotta get one from the draft because we can't pay a lot of people right now. We gotta save our money for Fred Warner and Nick Bosa and Debo Samuel's contracts. You know what I mean? So
Man.
they're gonna be
Yeah,
immaculate.
that's gonna be crazy.
They're gonna be immaculate. But we're about to get up out of here. Anything before we get up out of here, brother?
No, man, Niner fans, keep the faith alive. Stay faithful. I'm telling you, when this all turns around, you're going to be so happy that you stuck with it.
Man, I'm looking forward to this week too. I don't care. Saturday, Amazon only. I'll be watching on my Amazon Prime, rooting for the squad, checking this out, breaking down film. Wednesday, 7:30, guys. Got a big show.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that one. Every Wednesday is our show. Normally we have a guest. We don't. We really break down college a little bit. Try to talk about some things that normally we wouldn't talk about. This is normally the breakdown show on Monday. It's kind of the breakdown. Like I said, when we lose, this is definitely therapeutic Monday. So we're definitely going to expand ourselves a little more, and I am so happy you guys are tuning in. The numbers are looking great. We're getting better. Please share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, my name is Akeem. This is Blair Coates. This is the 49er Empire Podcast, and we are out. Peace.